United States Senate to order. We have a vote on the floor, which should be over in the next 10 minutes. Ranking Member Blumenthal, I passed him going in as I was leaving. He supposedly is on the way, so I'll talk a little bit and tell you what I want you to know about the opening statement. If he's not here, I'm going to start with the testimony from Sloan Gibson. If he is here, we'll hear from the ranking member. Is that fair enough? Yes, sir. Is that okay? Make the note that his staff said that was okay. Just I hate to get people in trouble. But I want to take a little extra time on this anyway, because this is a very important hearing for the VA, and it's a very important hearing for us. Last year, and culminating with August's passage of the Veterans Choice Bill in the United States House and Senate, the VA, every morning I got up, it was bad news. Veterans dying in Phoenix, problems in Raleigh, problems in Denver, problems in Orlando, and answers that were incomplete at best for understandable reasons, because an awful lot of the personnel at the VA were new. I'm the first person to recognize that Robert McDonald had just gotten there. I'm the first person to recognize that Secretary Petzel just had left about a year earlier. And Secretary Shinseki was gone as well, so there was a transition. But in my way of thinking, there is no excuse for the plethora of problems the VA was having, and the transition should have been much better, but wasn't. The VA demonstrated to me in the last hearing we had on Veterans Choice that they finally were listening. All I was hearing on the 40-mile rule in terms of where the crow flies or how far the car drives was nothing but stonewalls, until finally Sloan walked into that hearing, reached in his pocket and pulled out a new rule on the 40-mile rule to make as the number of miles driven be the governing factor, which I think everybody on this committee appreciated and agreed with and was happy that they found a way to do it. And I believe we are satisfactorily working towards the care you need definition being defined statutorily in such a way to make that change, which won't happen today, but will happen in the very near future. And I want to commend Sloan and Secretary McDonald and the others for the work they've done on that. To the VSOs that are in the room, I know some of them don't like the Veterans Choice Bill because they fear it will be a replacement for the Veterans Administration. You're not going to replace the Veterans Administration. It will always be there. But you can empower the Veterans Administration. You can empower the veteran by seeing to it they have access to world-class care in a close proximity to where they live, in an affordable amount and in a manageable amount, whether it's from the private sector or whether it's from the government. In fact, if anything, and this is going to sound harsh, but it should sound harsh, the VA has demonstrated it can't build a hospital by running over 100%, 200%, 300%, or 400%. Every time we can have private sector help given to veterans without having to build a hospital to put the people in, it's saving the VA money, it's saving the United States money, and it's giving the veterans far better services. So what we need is a partnership between the private sector and the Veterans Administration to deliver the ultimate goal, which is to see to it that the veterans get world-class health care and they get it in a timely way. That is my only goal. However we do that, the most important way to do it is to get it done. I think Veterans Choice is the way to do it. Now, we've had some bumps in the first, I think it's November 1st, I think was when Veterans Choice was rolled out. We've had some bumps. I've met with some of our private contractors, and I, by the way, appreciate those meetings and their confidence in the job that they can do. I appreciate the fact that VA is now cooperating, I think, in ways that it may not have been cooperating before, to see to it the two are working seamlessly. And if they can't work seamlessly, it will never work. The private contractors have to understand their contracts are not just subject to their performance for the veteran, but also their willingness to work cooperatively with the VA. And the VA needs to understand that the veterans' health care drives the decision and nothing else. There are some in VA healthcare who don't like the non-VA healthcare provisions anyway. I understand that, but they're going to have to get used to it, because we're going to make this thing work. We're not going to put a square peg in a round hole. We're going to match the round peg with the round hole and make this work for our veterans. So today's hearing is important to hear a report from the VA and the contractors, and then later from the VSOs, understanding that as we talk today, remember the first person we're here to serve is our veteran. They risk their lives for each and every one of us to be here today. We can expect no less of ourselves to see to it they get the best world-class health care as accessible and affordable as possible for our country and the taxpayer. With that said, I'll turn to the ranking member, Senator Blumenthal.